5 months ago, this guy, Joe Wormworth, left his stable job at the nuclear power plant to go off and start a dumpster company in New York. He left behind steady paychecks and benefits on the hopes of going and building something on his own.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was probably just the fact that I was sick of doing what I was doing. After all the research that I did, I decided this is what I was going to do, and then we attacked it with everything we've got. Because if you're going to make it succeed, you're not going to do it halfway, you're going to do it all the way.
Yes, sir.
That's just how I am.
And in just 90 days, he's nearly tripled his production. He's hired 2 drivers, and he's made his way back here to Quality Truck and Equipment to pick up his second hook lift truck. All right, Joe, this is what you traveled all this way for. Here's your second Peterbilt 536. But we're not just stopping at our shop. Once we go inside and take a look at Joe's brand new hook lift truck and show you some of the improvements we've made in our shop, we're going to hop on a plane to New York, and we're going to go see what a day in the life of Joe's operations look like. The real uncut grind of running dumpsters, hauling trash, and building the business from the ground up. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We got a very special guest with us here today. Please welcome Joe Wormworth with Roots Disposal back for a second time, picking up his next truck. All right, so we're at the airport and we're picking up Joe Wormworth with Roots Roll-Off. Hey, Joe, how are we doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing pretty well. Nice to see you.
Good to see you. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Hey, I'm glad you're back.
Yes.
Looking forward to it. So we're gonna go inside, we're gonna show you some of the upgrades that we've done inside the shop, some of the work in progress. Then we're gonna take a look at Joe's next truck. All right, Joe, this is what you traveled all this way for. Here's your second Peterbilt 536. Then we're gonna jump into some dollars and cents and see how you're able to get back here so quick to pick up your second truck. Sound good?
Love it.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, Joe, after you.
Thank you.
We're super happy to have you back. As you can see, we've done a little bit of changes here. We got our floor done with a brand new epoxy paint, and we finally got trim on the walls. So we're making big improvements here at Quality Truck and Equipment. I want to take you back and show you some of the trucks that we're working on in the shop right now. Show some of the people on the channel what we got going on. Go over that, and then we'll jump into your truck.
Let's do it.
Perfect, let's go. Everybody's hard at work, or hardly working. So as we step into the shop here, you might notice we started our phase 1 of beautifying the shop, making it a little bit more pleasant for people on our channel to watch our YouTube videos. So this will all be painted white, brand new flooring here in the near future, so be sure to stay tuned. Big things coming soon. Got quite a few trucks here in the shop. I think about 5-6 trucks here. We've got a brand new Chevy 6500 with an SL 160. That will be going out to a customer here shortly. A couple other builds, Freightliner M2, International MV, with an SL214, very similar setup to your trucks. Every truck that you see in here will be getting an SL214 setup with the U-Lock, so it's our bread and butter truck. People love them, you love them.
It's a great system. Yeah, I love the U-Lock system. That's key.
Getting the second truck, it's gonna be great because you don't have to make any adjustments, right?
No,
it's the same setup.
Yeah, it's just running it. Literally exact same truck, exact same setup, exact same everything. And we've got more cans coming from MacCorp.
Yeah, shout out MacCorp.
Yeah.
Some of the best in the business, so keep doing your thing.
Raiders killing it.
He is. Well, now that we've checked out some of the trucks that we got building, let's get to what you're here for, right? Let's check out your new truck.
Let's get it.
All right, Joe, this is what you traveled all this way for. Here's your second Peterbilt 536.
Wow.
What's your first impressions?
It's beautiful and super clean.
Hey, that's what we love to hear. For now, right?
That's right, for now.
All right, Joe, so the last time that you were here, I mean, you really took a leap of faith. You left your job at the nuclear power plant and put all your faith into getting a hook lift truck. That truck really led you to us being here today, picking up your second one. Can you tell us a little bit about how you were able to make that happen?
Yeah, absolutely. A kind of boring answer, but a lot of work. Being relentless, especially with advertising, with making the right connections, getting out there and talking to people, and really just being unrelenting in everything that you're doing.
Yeah, when you picked up your first Peterbilt, I think you said that you were doing somewhere around 15K a month. Tell me where that's a little bit expanded and allowed you to come back and get the second truck so quickly.
Yeah, so 3 months ago we were just about 15 grand a month, and this past month we actually almost hit 40.
Wow.
So it's
that's
pretty
a big
great.
Jump.
Yeah, with currently only, at that time, only 18 dumpsters.
Yeah, and you're doubling that?
Well, so we just got more to get us up to 30. And then we're going to double that with this next order.
Very nice. So both trucks will be running and gunning. Should be what, 30 dumpsters per truck?
That's correct.
That's a good number. So anybody out there, we see 30 dumpsters per one truck should be the max, and it should set you up for success, just like Joe here. I know having the second truck, obviously, more volume. You've hired another driver, correct?
Yeah, we got our second driver in training, our apprentice in training, and he's doing great, picking it up quickly. and it's been pretty great. It was one of the benefits of these under CDL trucks is it kind of
throw anyone in there,
opens
right?
up the pool, right? And being with such a young company, it's really critical to make really good hires early on.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, as far as hiring drivers and everything, how was that process?
So for me, honestly, it was pretty easy, and I only say that because I hired people that I already knew.
Okay.
Both of my drivers I have known since they were basically in middle school. Hiring people that you know, people that are proven, especially early on, I think is kind of key.
Yeah, and you can have them grow with you as the company grows, and keep some great guys on the team, right?
Exactly, and they're go-getters. I mean, you'll meet them. They're just good people, which is what we're about. So
Yeah, that's great to hear. So from the first truck to the second truck, you're able to make that leap from $15K a month to $30K a month. What do you think bringing on the second hook lift truck is going to do? I know you had to do some forecasting and things. Tell us a little bit about that.
yeah, so really we're looking to ramp up to take that basically 40K, and our thought is to kind of double it. Now, we had to do some forecasting, obviously, because we're up in the north where winter's a problem.
Yep.
So
Not too much dumpsters moving in the wintertime.
not a whole lot. We're hoping to get some moving, but we definitely are forecasting a significant drop and then picking back up in springtime. Kind of all that plays in. You got to be really tactical and really smart with your projections, especially when we're making big purchases like this.
Right, yeah. And as far as like your weekly drops and pickups, what do you think that number looks like?
It kind of varies. Some weeks we have slow weeks, and some weeks we're just absolutely slammed, and I got to run my trailer because we can't keep up with it with the one truck.
In your slammed weeks like that, what would you say, like how many dumpsters do you move in 1 week?
Probably upwards of doing 6 drop-offs a day.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And so we're
And
like
you
slammed.
should only be able to double that here with this next Peterbilt, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
revenue way up, so that's always a good plus. Tell us a little bit about some of the expenses that you've seen within your first 6 months of being in business.
Yeah, the biggest ones, like that kind of everybody knows, we're talking about dump fees. They're huge.
Yep.
Fuel is big. One thing that's kind of helped us, which you'll see, is we have an on-site fuel tank. So we buy in bulk, saves us some money. And, insurance is kind of one.
What are you paying over there in New York?
It's not even close to what I see some other people paying. So I will say that.
Being under CDL helps
Right,
as well.
being under CDL definitely helps. If and when we ever take that next step, I'm sure that comes with a higher insurance cost. But that's just stuff that you need to account for, you need to do your research on, because that can really cut into your bottom line. If you're not paying attention to it. In New York, you're required to have workers' comp insurance for each employee. So there's a lot of stuff that you need to really do your research before you just start jumping into things.
Yeah, and as you progress and the business grows and gets older, hopefully you can get your insurance costs down. Hopefully you can get your dump fees down with maybe some contracts at your local landfill. So the more that you grow this business, the better that you're going to get, and the bottom line is going to shrink. Correct?
That's right. Exactly right.
All right, Joe. Well, that's enough talk. Let's give the people what they really want to see. Let's go to New York.
Let's go.
Hey guys, we made it. We're here in Central New York. We're with our good buddy Joe Wormworth with Roots Roll-Offs. Today we're going to go through a day in the life. So tell us a little bit about what you got going on here today, Joe.
So we got a pretty busy day here of some pickups, drop-offs, and dumps, so we'll take you along for the ride. You'll see behind me one of our trucks here, and we got one of our trailers there, and then another truck on the other side, and our other Peterbilt is actually getting a rack put on it. We love this one so much that we got it from Quality Truck that we had to have it on our
Very nice.
on our
Time
first
too.
one. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love them. The drivers really appreciate them. Get them up out of the way, easy accessible.
Oh yeah.
And we actually love them so much that on the first truck, the first Peterbilt that we didn't get the shovel holders on, we're actually having them put on. We told them, make them exactly like this because what you guys designed is absolutely perfect.
Perfect. So good you had to have it twice.
That's right.
But yeah, it looks great, and it's a great addition. So moseying on over here, I see you got the trailer in the background. This is where it all started, isn't it, Joe?
Yes, this is where it all started. It's how it all started. And, it was a great way to start, kind of low cost entry as far as this industry goes, even though it still was fairly expensive. But it, kind of allowed us to get into that. Now that we have 2 roll-off trucks, this doesn't get used necessarily for a lot of drop-offs and pickups, but it will pick up the slack.
Can you give the people back at home that are watching this that may be interested,
what the investment looks like from the trailer to the truck to the second truck, and kind of break that down a little bit for the people watching at home?
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, this trailer was kind of the initial investment, but actually the pickup truck was actually the very first investment.
Gotcha.
So, it was about $40,000 for the pickup truck, $30,000 for the trailer, and 4 bins. Obviously, if you have a truck, that's going to, really,
Jumps
the price down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we decided to get more dumpsters. So we got those immediately. That was
in total with the trailer. How many dumpsters did you have before you got into the first hook lift truck?
I had 18 dumpsters.
Okay.
Before I got in.
Pretty significant for the trailer.
Yep. And then I got the first hook lift truck, and I got 4 more, which got us up to 20. And then I got another shipment of dumpsters of 10, which then got us up to 30.
Okay. And now what are we looking at for 30 dumpsters, the trailer, truck? Where's that number fall?
Yeah, we were about 400,000 there.
Okay.
Then we stepped into our second hook lift truck and 30 more dumpsters that we're getting, which was another 350,000.
Yeah. So currently 2 trucks, the trailer, and 60 dumpsters.
Yeah.
Now that's quite the operation.
Yeah, about 750 grand all in as of right now, and that's just in equipment.
Yeah. Now, getting started with this, can you tell the people that are watching the video back home, some of the drawbacks or positives that you had with it when you were running it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the biggest, I think most obvious drawback is that it's just so slow. I mean, I could run circles around this trailer with these trucks.
Yep.
And these trucks are just so much more efficient. It's not even fair to compare them, pretty much.
Now, would you say starting off with like the cable pull trailer and like the cable dumpsters, if there was a hook lift option at that time, do you think it would have been more beneficial for you to go with that option rather than this trailer set up here?
Yeah, I think so, because my ultimate goal was to go hook lift anyways, so that when I bought this, I actually got these. They didn't have a hook on them, so I actually had to get a hook fabricated.
Yeah, I see that you made
them.
the fabrication to get the hook on the original dumpsters.
That's correct. So to make them work so I could pull them up onto the truck. They were already standard rail,
Yep.
Which I knew I was going to go. But I did have to get them fabricated, which isn't a huge deal, but definitely would have saved some, little bit of money, a little bit of heartache, down the road as we were making that switch.
Yeah. For any of you guys out there watching that are looking to, start off in Joe's similar situation, I definitely highly recommend Swappler's new hook lift trailer, so you can avoid some of those, trials and tribulations that Joe had. Get yourself set up for success so you can jump right into the hook lift truck. I definitely recommend starting with the hook lift trailer, and I think it'll be a seamless transition for you guys out there. So thanks for giving the guys a breakdown of your initial investment and where you're at today. But we both know that it's not about the money spent, the monetary value. It's about what goes on behind the scenes. So can you give the viewers a little sneak peek into what makes this whole thing go around that you do that maybe isn't necessarily seen every day?
Yeah, it's the time investment. I mean, I work basically, all the time, whether I'm actually in the day-to-day activity or I'm doing stuff behind the scenes, or you're doing billing, or you're doing advertising, or you're doing, developing relationships, or going to board meetings, or putting together presentations. There's just, endless amount of things that need to get done and that you need to do, especially when you're trying to grow as fast as we're trying to grow.
Yeah.
So it's all the time.
I mean, that's the joys of being a business owner. I mean, it never sleeps, right?
That's right.
I know when we first did the original video, you had been working at a nuclear power plant and kind of took that leap of faith to, start a dumpster company. Can you tell the people at home kind of what gave you that push to, start this whole operation of Roots Roll-Off?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was probably just the fact that I was sick of doing what I was doing, and I had enough, and I was unhappy and needed a change. And honestly, I've always wanted to own my own business, and after all the research that I did, I decided this is what I was going to do. And then my wife and I made that decision, and we attacked it with everything we've got. Because if you're going to make it succeed, you're not going to do it halfway. You're going to do it all the way.
Yes, sir.
That's just how I am.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. You're definitely killing it out here. We're looking forward to seeing what you can do, and we're looking forward to where you're heading. So.
Thanks. And let's go meet our driver.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Hey, how are you?
Pretty good. Jake Loomis with Quality Truck.
Noel Bottoms.
Nice to meet you, Noel.
Nice to meet you as well.
So, Joe, you originally were in the truck driving, and then you eventually hired Noel on here, who I have to say is one of the best-looking hook lift drivers I've seen out there yet. Hard-pressed to find a better one. Tell us a little bit about your hiring process.
Yeah, so I was in the truck for like a month before I decided it was time to move and hire our first driver. It got to a point where I was running, 12, 14-hour days on top of fielding all of the phone calls in the truck, having to stop and take orders. And it got to the point where I was missing things and losing things by not having a driver.
Right.
So that was just, you know, kind of for me was like the sign, like, hey, put someone in here so you can work, you know, on the business instead of in the business. It has definitely paid off, having that time, having that driver, especially having someone that you can really trust with this extremely expensive equipment. After I got that first driver, I was really able to kind of step back and really create those relationships with contractors and different organizations to make sure that, you know, we try to grow and scale. And it's actually worked out to the great where we've actually hired a second driver and now bought our second truck from you guys. So it's really makes it, you know, invaluable so that you can then focus on growth.
Most definitely. Obviously, you have some big things in the works, right? Can you elaborate on, you know, some of the stuff that you have upcoming at Roots Rolloff?
Yeah, so we're actually getting ready to roll out our residential division.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're actually got a wait list going for our local communities in the county, and we are in the earliest planning stages of kind of getting the equipment, getting the things that we need together, getting the cans, and actually looking to launch here pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's exciting. So tell us a little bit. I mean, you offer obviously the roll-off dumpsters. Like, what service all does Roots Rolloff offer to your community?
Yeah, so we are obviously a dumpster rentals full service. We also offer full service dumpster rentals, which is where we'll drop it off and then we have a crew actually load it for the individual. If they're, you know, elderly people or people who just straight up just don't have time or don't want to, we'll load the dumpster for them. They just point and we'll load.
That's great.
Yeah, we also do demolitions, full scale demolitions, both interior and whole structure. And now we are finally getting into the residential side.
Yeah, I mean, it's full service. I mean, you got the roll-off dumpsters. I mean, you got the demolition side, and hopefully the residential trash here soon. So, I mean, you guys are a one-stop shop. Thanks for sharing that, Joe. We're looking forward to seeing what you can do in the future. And we got a busy day here, so tell us a little bit what we're going to do today.
Yeah, we got a really busy day. We're going to take you guys to one of our big roofing jobs that got actually 5 of our dumpsters there. Working on this roof tear off and putting a new one on. Yeah, it's actually a church right in town here that they're working on, and so they actually just called for a swap out. So we're going to take you guys along, show what it's all about, get that, swap it out, take it to the landfill, dump it, and take you guys along for the ride.
Awesome. We're looking forward to it. So let's get after it.
All right, let's get to work.
But first, a cup of Joe. Hi, Joe. So we're here on the church clean out. You guys have a couple dumpsters here. Tell us a little bit about how you landed this job for this church clean out, how many dumpsters are expected, and maybe what profit might be for you guys here at Roots Rolloff.
Yeah, so we landed this job actually through our Google Ads. So this is actually a contractor who's redoing this entire roof.
Okay.
Who found us on Google. They're from actually Texas, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
Up here to do this. And it's going to be a total of 6 dumpsters on this job, 6 20-yarders. We have 1 concrete dumpster because they had some pavers up on the roof that they're kind of taking care of. We kind of just charge by the dumpster, and then with our commercial clients, we allow them a little bit more leeway, so we would actually just charge them by the pound afterward.
Oh, yeah.
For that, except for our concrete dumpster, which we can get rid of that at no cost. So that is kind of in a little bit different category.
Okay, I got you. And do you think as far as getting this job and landing it, like you said, Google Ads, do you find a lot of work through the Google Ads?
Yeah, I find a ton of work. It's something that we've really leveraged in these early years before we, until we can build a rapport with local contractors, local community. As we break into that market, we've really had to leverage those Google Ads quite a bit.
Yeah, that's great. Until you can really get, the word of mouth out there for Roots Roll-Offs, and, the business will start coming in faster than you can get the dumpsters out, I'm sure. So
yeah, that's what we're hoping for.
So we have, obviously, the church here. We got a couple dumpsters on site. If you want to walk around and take a look at what's going on around here today, we got a couple guys on the roof doing a roof clear out, fixing that up. You got one of your 20-yarders here.
Yep. Yeah, one of our new ones. Don't even have them tagged yet with our logo, which is going to be in the works. And then right here we have our concrete dumpster that we got for those pavers that are up top.
And you said that's no cost for the customer because this is all fully recyclable stuff, pretty much, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So you can take that to the landfill, and they're not going to charge you for taking concrete and those types of debris back.
Right. Yeah. Or somebody who's looking for clean fill, as long as there's no very strict as far as no trash, no anything. It has to be clean, dirt, concrete, whatever like that. Then we can get rid of it.
Very nice.
At no tonnage cost.
Continuing on and around, I think I saw another 20-yarder poking around out back.
Yeah, we're starting to near the end of this job, so that they have most of the roof done. Now they're going to move on to the one flat part of the roof. So we should be wrapping up here with the last couple of dumpsters on here. We've been here about 10 days. really working together with the contractor to make sure that we're delivering what they need when they need it is really kind of important. They're on a tight schedule. Like I said, they're from out of town, so they're looking to get this out and done as quick as possible.
Yeah, no, it's awesome that you're able to help assist them with this, and then move on to the next project. Hopefully, get a good Google review for roots roll-offs after you're done, and keep making these jobs possible for you guys. I saw on the insurances, who all do you use to help insure roots roll-off and all the ventures that you have going on, Joe?
Yeah, so because we're such a new company, only certain insurance companies are willing to work with such young companies. So Progressive is for our commercial auto,
Okay.
and we use Next for our general liability and that other stuff like that. So it's, like I said, it's a work in progress. The more trucks you get, the higher insurance is going to go up. But particularly like you said, like the demolition and the junk removal side is astronomically higher.
Yep.
There's
A lot more risk involved.
Yeah, the insurance company's taking on a lot of more risk, which we're actually looking to get that reduced. So we're working with actually one of our insurance carriers right now to try to find other better plans.
Okay.
As the company ages,
shopping around, getting better rates.
Yep. Companies, the insurance companies have, more trust in you, being an older company than a newer company. So always looking to try to talk to them and try to find better rates at all, because that is a huge cost.
Now, with adding the second truck, I mean, you obviously were with the insurance company the first time around with that truck. Did you get any type of, benefits from adding a second truck onto the plan as well?
I wouldn't say necessarily benefits, but it wasn't like an entirely new truck. So there was a little bit of,
so it was a little bit more seamless, coming
Yeah.
in and adding that truck, and
Yes.
not so many hurdles to jump through.
Yeah, and it was very fast. Once I have it, just to add a vehicle, I literally just told them I had insurance that day because it was already a plan that we had with them. So
Perfect. So we got a lot left for the day. We're gonna roll out of here. We're gonna go grab some lunch. We're gonna go get some pizza with Joe. He's got a good spot here in town. But you guys are gonna want to stay tuned, because we're gonna go over to Joe's lot where he stores all of his dumpsters. He's gonna break down some of those costs as well. So you're gonna want to stay tuned for that as well. Get after it. All right, Joe, so we finally made it back to the lot here. We've got a full day, dumpster load at the church earlier, but wanted to make it back here to kind of see where all the dumpsters are stored. And tell us a little bit about the spot that you got here.
yeah, I'd say we really got lucky with this spot. Actually, a friend of mine who owns this lot, it's already zoned appropriately.
Very nice.
And all this stone and all this on the floor was already here when we got here. We had literally turnkey ready to go.
The foundation was already laid out.
Yeah.
And you're able to come in and store all these dumpsters. So how many dumpsters in total do you have here right now?
We have about 12. We have 30 total. So
you're about halfway
Yeah.
with the lot. So
half out.
pretty good numbers to have out. So for anyone out there that's looking to find a place to rent, this is a pretty nice lot that you got all the dumpsters housed at. Do you know on a monthly basis what you might be paying for a spot like this?
Yeah, so for this spot, we pay $600 a month, which is
that's phenomenal.
Crazily low. I would not take that as your barometer if you're looking for a spot, for sure. We got very lucky with a fantastic landlord who's a friend of mine. But anywhere from $1,000, $1,200, even $2,000. We're looking for land down south of here, and it is considerably higher.
Yeah, so I can see that you got a very nice branding on all your dumpsters. Everything looks really nice. I wanted to just have you touch a little bit on your marketing, the dollars you put into that, and the results that you've gotten from it.
Yeah, so paid marketing is pretty much almost all Google. as far as our paid marketing, and we spend about $2,000 a month on Google, which is pretty inexpensive. Our area is not very competitive when it comes to Google ads, so that kind of plays in our favor. If you move into like a bigger city or a bigger area.
Would you say guys aren't really taking advantage of the Google ads?
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just not a big thing around here.
Yeah, but it works in your favor.
Yeah, it absolutely does, and we're seeing, we're seeing gigantic returns.
That's great.
So
through your Google ads and all that, how many dumpsters do you think that generates for you in Roots Rollout?
yeah, so you're probably looking at a good week. You're looking at like probably 15 dumpsters. We really specialize in short-term rentals.
Okay.
So I don't, anything that's like a week is long for us.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the 1, 2, 3 day
right?
hits where I can turn them quick.
Yep.
And get them right back out.
Like get them to the next customer.
Exactly. Yeah. The faster they turn them, the more we can make. I'm not making any money if the dumpster's just sitting there for a month in someone's driveway.
Turn and burn.
That's right.
I know while we're here talking dumpsters, I kind of wanted to touch on dump fees. I know you got a lot out right now. What are you seeing as far as, dump fees versus profit for you guys when you do a dump?
Yeah, so it really depends on the county. Our counties are actually very, very different when it comes to dump fees. In Oswego County, where we currently are right now, it doesn't matter whether it's MSW or C&D. It's all the same price.
Okay.
But you go south to Onondaga, where we also run. There's very different prices for construction debris, which is $60 a ton, or MSW, which is the household debris, is actually $105 a ton.
I see.
So, you kind of got to be, we're kind of in the middle with where we charge our prices, so it works here and works there. So you just got to really know your market, know where you're at. The larger the dumpster, the more we're going to make. Smaller the dumpster, the little less we're going to make. It just kind of depends on kind of how many we get and how many we do, how heavy that dumpster is on per ton what we make, basically.
You actually told me Raider sent you a picture earlier, so you have a truckload of 30 more dumpsters coming this way.
Yeah, we just ordered 30 more, so we got the first 10 of those 30 with a flatbed in there. There should be showing up actually tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
tomorrow
exciting.
Morning. So
this lot's going to get a lot more full here very, very, very quickly, right?
That's right. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, that's exciting. So, to the people at home watching this video, trying to get into the dumpster business, what would you give them as, one piece of advice that could help them along the way that you've seen in your ventures?
Yeah, I would say the biggest one is do your research and know your market, know your dump fees, know where the landfill is, what you can and cannot dump in the landfill, because everybody's different. Mm-hmm. Everyone is different. Even in this area, the county we're in is different from the county below us and above us. So really knowing those things and being able to set your pricing off of that is really, really, really important.
You talked about a couple of different landfills. Do you have like a contract of any sort, special rates for yourself now that you've been doing this for a little bit?
We don't necessarily have a contract, you'd say, but you got to have a permit to use those landfills. All the landfills and transfer stations in our area are government owned, so they're owned by the counties.
So how did it go, trying to pull those permits? Was that pretty difficult for you guys?
No, it's actually pretty easy.
Oh, okay.
You're making sure, you got to have proof of insurance, proof of, ownership of everything. Make sure that, you're a legitimate business with all the correct documentation, and you can start hauling.
Very nice. So lots of paperwork, but pretty seamless.
That's right.
I wanted to touch on one other thing. I had talked to Noel earlier. You have everything branded. I wanted to ask you, instead of outsourcing the decals and things like that, he told me that you ended up buying a big printer and did those yourself. Tell us a little bit about that for people at home that might be looking to do the same thing to save a little bit of money.
Yeah, it definitely saves you some money. It does take forever, and there's definitely a big learning curve. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, it's saving me about $1,000 per dumpster, because that's what about it cost us to brand our first ones. I had someone else do. So that's when I was like, I can buy a vinyl cutter for $2,000 and then the software to go with it, and then the vinyl's fairly inexpensive. And you kind of do them yourself. And there's a big learning curve. Make sure there's not a lot of air bubbles and stuff like that.
I'm sure the first ones weren't perfect, looking like they do now.
Oh, yeah. The first one we did, you can tell it's our demolition only dumpster, because it's, we don't like that going out too much to someone's nice residential house.
Well, you got more dumpsters coming, so you got a little bit more practice coming your way on the vinyl on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Joe, we really do appreciate you having us out here in Central New York today to view your operations. It was a really good time to get to know you a little bit better, get to see your operation, the trucks in work. So we really do appreciate it. We appreciate your business, and we're looking forward to seeing what you can do here in the near future. And hopefully you're back buying another truck before you know it.
Yeah, I hope so too. And thanks for coming out, and thanks for, partnering with us and doing this. And I just want to let everybody know that if they have any questions for me, or just want to bounce some ideas off me or ask me why I did some of the things that I did, I'd be happy to help anybody out in the industry. Just go ahead and call my number, 315-708-3320, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.
Well, all right, Joe. Appreciate your time and keep up the great work. We'll see you real soon, I'm sure.
Thanks. Have a safe trip back.
Thank you. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We really do appreciate it. Remember, here at Quality Trucking Equipment, all we do is build hook lift trucks. So if you liked any of the trucks in the video today, be sure to give me a call. My number is 989-424-7401, or you can reach us at our sales line at 989-802-0907. And you can always check us out at our website, qualitytruckingequipment.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, and until next time, keep it quality.